Alright, everybody, welcome to the second episode of Podcatz. Today we will be discussing the, the story of Fire Emblem Three Houses. The previous episode we talked a bit more about mechanics and overall, feel of the gameplay and such. But today it will just be story, plot, so if you don't want to get spoiled for the game, tune out now and then maybe come back later when you've played it, because I will be saving these videos and uploading them to YouTube as well. And without further ado, my two guests for today.
Oh, that's my cue.
Yeah.
I'm Cyber. What else did I say? Oh, right. I'm a chem major at Georgia State, and the first route I played was the Golden Deer. The second one was the Blue Lions.
Yeah, and you were also here with me earlier this month when we were doing the first episode.
That's right, I was.
Yeah. And next guest?
Hi, I'm Kren. I didn't get to hear too much of his intro there because somehow my computer fell over randomly. So I had to switch to my phone. But
Oh, wait.
first route I did was Blue Lions. Then I went Golden Deer. Then I went Church, and then Beagles.
Yeah, alright. The main feature of Fire Emblem Three Houses would be, the three houses, the different routes. So maybe if we talk a little bit about, I guess we can start with, what our favorite route is and why, and then we can go a bit more deeper into that.
I knew that was going to be your first question too, and I did not get an anser.
Here we go.
All
Fear
right.
the Deer.
Fear of the Deer, yes.
Well, I want to multi-part this one because I can't. For the first, let's say, 70% Blue Lions, and then the last 30% Golden Deer.
Okay.
I can expand on that unless someone else wants to hop in on theirs.
Okay.
I kind of want to hear the expansion a bit on that.
Alright, so the first half, or pre-skip, I think that's just the easiest one there to say. It's the Blue Lions, because it feels like Blue Lion's story was written first, because you got Miklon and Lord Lonato. You get all those people just drafted to the Blue Lions, and you don't recruit everyone. So that's it's kind of there. And then why it goes to Golden Deer after, because I think Blue Lions is good for it's like any other Fire Emblem kind of thing. You have that kind of path there. You go there, you fight the person, and that's it. But I think with kind of how this story was tied up with all the information and all that, Blue Lions kind of just owns its own thing and doesn't really answer a lot of questions. It's just the Mewtwo story.
Yeah.
So since Golden Deer touches on Bailiff and Rhea and then Nemesis and all that, that's why Golden Deer takes it at the end.
Yeah, I feel like, I haven't completed all the routes yet, but I feel like so far Golden Deer feels like the most complete route overall. Yeah. Although I have to say I really like how heavy a focus it is on the kingdom in the beginning. I feel like that is pretty good for setting up setting up the entire universe, because I feel like just from the basic description you have a pretty good idea of how the Alliance looks like. And then you have the Empire as well, which is oh, hey, it's an Empire, they're obviously the evil dudes, because the Empire is always the evil dudes in RPGs. But the Kingdom, when you first heard of them, personally, I had a bit of a problem, putting, what do these guys do? Where do they stand, kind of?
Yeah, that's what I think put a lot of people off on Dimitri, because it's he's just your basic, lord, I'm gonna save everyone.
At first, but
and that's part of the reason why I liked him initially too, because he kind of reminded me of, I always butcher his name, but Erica's brother Ephraim or whatever that is.
Yeah.
He looks like that, and he's probably gonna be an absolute unit like that. And then ended up being 100% correct on that. And then I like Claude, but archers have always been bad in these games, and I don't know how that's gonna work for a lord.
because
But it worked out.
yeah, and I would say that interestingly enough, I feel like Three Houses is probably where archers have been at their best as a class.
Yeah.
Because even
that was
in
a good surprise.
Yeah, because even in Gaiden, where we had like 5 range archers or whatever, like archers still fell off pretty hard towards the later part of the game. I felt.
Yeah, and like even if you had like the higher ranges, like I know like Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance, they all had like long range bows, but like you couldn't hit, and if you did, it was like 1 damage.
Yeah. But more so on story, because I mean, for my favorite, it was definitely the Golden Deer. I feel like the cast of Golden Deer. I mean, I think the cast in Fire Emblem Three Houses is really strong overall, but I think Golden Deer really takes a cake for me because they're really, really charming, and you kind of get like a bit because of like it is the youngest kingdoms. You still have like a lot of connections to the other kingdoms as well, baked into their stories and such. And
yeah, I think it's heavily whatever you do first kind of thing. It's like because
I
saw the
maybe.
story and I'm like I did Blue Lions. I'm like, what the hell is even Claude doing? Like, why is he here? Because like he was like no relevance at all to the plot when he played Blue Lions. And he kind of just pops up and he's like, hello.
Yeah, and that I would say in the Golden Deer, I don't felt there was anything like that. I felt like all characters felt relevant, even the ones from the other houses. So I really liked the overall story writing there.
Yeah, I loved it too, and I was reading something. I think it's the canon route you're supposed to go with.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because like if you look off the other teachers and stuff like that, and like who they usually teach, it's like Manuela is supposed to be the Red Lion or Black Eagles, and Hanneman's supposed to be Blue Lions, and then the Aqua teacher that Randolph couldn't deal with Claude, so you had to go teach Golden Deer instead.
Fear the deer. Fear the deer.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I like the dynamic because like. I mean, they feel kind of like the students of the Deer. They just feel kind of like, I mean, they don't match each other at all. I mean, you have like
very mismatched group.
Yeah, exactly, and I like that because I mean, in the Empire, it feels like everybody's like really serious, and then like we have Bernadetta and Lindhart who are not serious, but they still. I feel
Bernie
like they
and
still,
Lenny.
Yeah, they still fit together as like the entire class fits together as one cohesive unit. And then we have the kingdom, and they're all about, we're loyal and we're strong, and like you can kind of see that in all of them. And then the Golden Deer is just like they're all over the place, and I really like that.
Yeah, I agree with that one there. And then what else was I say? Yeah, then another part too about which was the canon route to add into what someone else rebutted. It said Manuela has to be the class is based off, so Manuela can't teach Sylvain.
Ah.
Because he wouldn't leave you.
Wow, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I did like the Black Eagles too, kind of doing a part 1 on that there, like, because like you had those side pieces with the Edelgard and all that.
They're pretty cool.
But I just, the second half just kind of felt rushed and not complete in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, it just felt like, wait, is this already over? And not only is it shorter than the other routes, but there are like a lot of plot points that they really don't bring up, and I can understand if you already have like a long game and we couldn't cover all the plot points in this route. I feel like it makes sense to just drop it for another route, but the Black Eagles are already really short, so
that's what happened with the church route. I feel like that made an issue because church is kind of like the Deer routes. People are like, well, why do they add that?
Yeah, but church goes. Yeah, but church goes more into like more about the church, like what the church actually are, what the children of the goddess are, and all that. So
yeah, it's just I feel like if they could have the Black Eagles could have fought those that slither in the dark, that could have been cool.
Yeah.
And then maybe
they
like
didn't?
I mean, it's like
you wish.
Yeah, it's like okay, so very short, like Black Eagles post time skip 101 is like, we are kind of winning the war, but not quite. Let's go conquer the alliance so we can attack the kingdom from both sides. And then we get to the kingdom and wait, Rhea is like super evil, by the way, and she's a dragon, so now she's even more evil, and end the game. That's kind of what it felt like.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's actually terrible.
I forget who's the what's the Edelgard's uncle's name?
Oh yeah, right.
Arendelle.
Yeah, Lord
Yeah.
Arundel.
Arundel.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
evil
they're like
dude.
working together, and they're like, we don't really trust him, but we're gonna kind of,
Yeah.
fight enemies. And it's like, we'll deal with that later. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, exactly. It's like, like he's totally evil, but we need his power to win the war against the kingdom. And it's like, yeah, I guess, but you never actually see them dealing with that. They just
Yeah,
say
like
they
I-
will, and that feels
I get it
kind
with
of
the other routes.
anticlimactic.
yeah, like Blue Lion's not having it makes sense. And like, I don't think they imagined Dimitri just coming in and freaking slaughtering him.
No.
So like, they're all just like, yeah, we're just gonna stay back, and now's not the time with this guy running around. So
I guess.
I buy that. Because they thought they were killing Claude, and they're like, all right, we're gonna go do this, and then
Yeah.
Dimitri does Dimitri.
Absolutely.
So that made sense.
Yeah, and I feel like also the whole thing with like Elmira as well, which is not. It's like, oh yeah, this is like a big kingdom, like who's rivaling Fodlan in terms of power, and I feel like
Yeah.
that's not really addressed at all outside of the Golden
Deer.
Era.
Also, the Golden Deer.
Then
They
again, I
could've
haven't
done
gotten
that so
to
much
Lion's
more.
post time skip, so I don't know if they bring that up there, but
It's been a while, but I don't think
They
they
don't.
do.
They don't.
I don't know if even like you might have a prologue, paralogue, whatever they're called, with some character that touches into it, but
Okay, so the one, I don't know if y'all mess with Cyril at all,
Mm.
but he's from Elmira. So you got
Yeah.
two Elmiran characters in the game. You got Cyril and you got Claude.
Yeah.
I mean, and then technically, I think you can recruit Hilda and Blue Lions too. So I think they would still have that joint paralogue together.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I think, I mean, I don't know if they're just going to drop that because they do that for some routes you're in.
I mean, yeah, because like because I feel like that even that paralogue is pretty much like, oh yeah, this is a country that exists, and oh, Cyril is from there, and like that's kind of all they say in the paralogue as well, I think.
Yeah, I feel like I was supposed to be using him in Golden Deer, but I never did. He was in like
No.
every single
Same.
cutscene, and I'm like, oh, so am I supposed to be using him? Like doing some like cutscenes or something with him?
Yeah.
Honestly, like is he related to Claude? Like I don't know. Completely missed it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like he was part of like one of the many invasion forces from Elmira that just they're kind of just fighting because they like it, not because they actually want to conquer Fodlan. They're just like, oh hey, we have a culture that favors fighting, so let's go fight some dudes. And he
Yeah,
was
definitely.
part of one of those fights, and then he got like, they failed to invade, of course, and then he got like captured by
Okay.
the defending soldiers.
Yeah. I wish they showed more of them, and then Bridget too. You don't get to see anyone else. I'm not
Well, you
sure
went
if
to
there was,
Bridget like one time.
I mean,
Did we?
there is a side, like a paralogue in
In one
Bridget. That's
paralogue,
all.
yeah, in one paralogue. What
Was
even?
was it the Bridget and Bernie one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you didn't get to see any of the people. I felt like you could have
No.
saw some cool warrior tribes and archers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
It's
I'm in a
so
whole
weird.
other country. They have the same classes we do. What is this?
Yeah. I mean, do
Because
we even
Elmira,
see
it was like,
any?
yeah, we ride wyverns, and
Yeah.
our classes are different because,
Yeah.
look at Claude with his whole special wyvern class.
Yeah. I don't know, and like the only thing we really see from Bridget is like, oh yeah, there's two green units that like join you halfway through that map or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
oh
terrible.
yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty interesting universe they've built up. It's just that they didn't expand very much on it. Same with like we have stuff like we know, like Morphis, which is like, oh yeah, it's something city of mages.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they didn't go into that at all.
Yeah,
No.
but I mean, like, it was like kind of weird because like you keep playing each route. Like Blue Lions, like I didn't know anything about like Rhea or any of that stuff. I'm like, you know what, that's fine. We got like
Yeah.
3 other routes to figure it out. But then I felt like they kept doing that with each route. They're like, all right, we're just
Yeah.
gonna leave something out here, leave something out here, so you play the next one. And then once you finish them, you're like, what about this?
Yeah. I mean, then again, like Fodlan seems to be like a very isolationist region, so I guess it makes sense that they don't have much contact with like the surrounding kingdoms. But
I mean, even in the kingdom too. Like, but I think the DLC is going to help out. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen what that's about, but that could be beneficial for some holes here and there. But
I don't know what the DLC is. I've seen a leak that said like Anna will be playable, and then sometime in the future there's like 4 new characters that have been named that will be playable, and they probably correspond with the unused crests, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's some stuff like that. Like, I'm kind of hoping it's like a Torna kind of thing. Because like Torna helped answer a lot of plot holes.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, I hope they clean up some stuff. I guess now that I think more about it, I guess it makes sense that Almyra was mostly mentioned in the Golden Deer route, considering that the Alliance is right next to it. But
so,
and that Claude is half Almyra.
Yeah, the Almyran guy that he brought with him, or like that was his retainer or whatever. Is that his uncle, dad, or do we not know?
I think it's his uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he never actually like. He mentioned his parents, but he never like showed us his parents.
Yeah,
because Judith looks like him.
Yeah, I mean,
then I was like, this little butler dude that he claims is a butler also looks like him.
Yeah.
But Judith didn't even realize that the dude wasn't. It didn't make sense. I was like, wait a second, huh? No.
I mean, with the way they talk to each other, they definitely had known each other for a long time. So I'm not sure if they were like just family or if it's been like, oh yeah, he was the guy who like instructed Claude as a kid and stuff.
But he was also like this famous Almyran general.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And he came over and did that one battle, and she was like, wait. Your butler was the same general? Oh my! And I was like, you didn't know?
Yeah. I think it could have been good if they were recruitable units. Like if you got like each route had their own like if Blue Lions could have gotten Rodrigue, like Blue Lions gets Rodrigue, Deer gets the Almyran guy.
That went pretty cool.
Or Judith.
And Judith, and then Black Eagles, Randolph, and whatever the
Ladislava or whatever.
Yeah, her. I think that would have been cool. You throw in 2 there.
Yeah, it could have been really cool, actually.
Maybe Hilda's brother actually sees the screen and isn't just, I got sniffles, I can't be here today. Sorry.
Oh.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I was distraught. I was like,
world-renowned warrior gets stopped by a cold and
Yeah. Yeah, and then I mean, that's also the thing. Like, even in the church route, you don't actually get Rhea to join you, do you?
No.
No. Okay.
Dang! Wow. She a high class lady. All right.
She doesn't want any of your shit.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But also she does.
Yeah, because I guess that can be the next thing we go in. Talk a bit more about like the church and I guess Rhea maybe in specifically.
I love her.
She's pretty great. She's pretty great.
I know people passionately hate her.
I mean, I think she's really fucking cool, but also like, yikes.
I mean,
dude,
I feel like,
terrifying.
I feel like everyone that hates her is simply the people that did the Black Eagles first, which is 90% of people.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
And if you do her first, like Black Eagles first, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I get that. I get that. She is a little crazy.
I mean,
and maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I did, because the thing is, in my first playthrough, like, because I did Deer first, I was like really suspicious of her. It's like, okay, my dad, who seems like a pretty nice guy overall, tells me to be wary of her, and then it's like, yeah, she seems really nice, but then there is those small things like, oh wait, after this uprising of like the church thing, she just decided to kill off all of them regardless of how involved they were, and it's like, yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, meanwhile, since I did the Lions first, and it's like, he's probably just a grumpy old man. She's great. I'm gonna have a great time with her, and I did.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's like,
Yeah, I did get scared in the Black Eagles that route. I'm like, oh man, I see why people are judging me now for liking her.
But her, even when she does get really angry and try to destroy everyone, I feel like it totally makes sense with the truth about who she is.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah. So I can't even get mad at her.
Which is why I love the intro cutscene, because I've watched that like 3 times, like since I
Yeah.
have replayed it 4 times, and each time I'm like, that's why this is there, that's why that's there. And,
Yeah.
oh, look at this.
It's great.
But yeah, because like I get her insanity. Like there's.
I mean, yeah, 'cause like she totally fucking snaps.
Yeah, because I get that after all the list of reasons and seeing every other video game where someone's like, you stole my whatever, I'm just gonna end you kind of thing. Like that would make. She's been going through years of suffering and thought she fixed it, and then it got even worse.
Yeah, you stole my mother that I put into your dead body to give you life. Or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah. Right after. And then you're gonna. Oh, the best part is too that she's gonna end up killing her with their own mom.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm just thinking, because, like, how fucking sad it must be for Sophis, because even if, like, she kind of disappears, she's not completely gone from you. Like, she's still part of you.
I don't get
and
that.
she has to, like, somehow observe you killing her, like, her children.
Did you see the S rank with Sothis at all?
No.
I did not. I can't figure out how to do it.
Oh, well, like I think it's always a default option. You just click it. I don't think you need to have any requisites for it.
Really?
So I just did that. Yeah.
Because I can't click on it.
Well, you can't click on the question marks at all when it's there.
No, I always see it. But wait.
Yeah.
I always saw it grayed out, so I was like.
I mean, it
well,
was grayed out at the end of my Golden Deer playthrough, and at the end of my Eagle playthrough, well, she disappears after you kill her only remaining daughter. So.
Yeah, you can still do it. So like, if it's grayed out, you're supposed to click it. It's just like you don't really want to click it, and the game's telling you that's not what you want.
Really?
that's kind of how I see it. Cause like I watched it and it was uncomfortable and kind of like weird, but like she like takes like a physical form in a sense, but then she also doesn't.
Oh.
So like I don't understand how that all works.
I mean,
it's like, oh, so I finally get a draconic unit, but I don't get a draconic unit. Oh, well,
yeah,
like
you see her pop out again, like here's one, you're like, oh great, and then like you give her the ring, she's like, I can't put that on me. I'm like, oh, all right, and then like she just hops back in, and I'm like, okay, this is this now. I don't understand how she's back now.
So I S with myself?
Yeah, that's essentially how it goes. She yells at you for like 3 minutes, and then you're like, okay, awesome.
What the fuck? Okay.
Dadgummit. That's a huge opportunity missed. There.
It's worth YouTubing.
Yeah.
Not worth wasting an S rank to do it.
I mean, yeah, because I feel like that would be a prime opportunity to, like, I mean, maybe actually have, like, some semi-hidden prerequisite and then dropping a bunch of lore and, like, character development or something for both Rhea and Sothis.
And then giving me another unit.
I think I did it on my church route, but I don't know if I did anything, like, special or really anything to do it. I just kind of played as usual. I just kind of ran out of S ranks that I could do.
Alright, yeah.
That makes me sad now. Okay.
I was trying to get Rhea, but then I missed it, and I was so upset. That's what I'm gonna have to do on my next playthrough.
Yeah.
Dang, Fire Emblem.
Yeah, but I mean, but then, like, I don't know, the whole fucking part about the church is completely messed up anyways, so.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, Flane and, like, Seth, they just kind of, like, hide in a rock for maybe, like, 10 years and come back out, and it's like, hello?
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm so mad at Flane. Like, for 2 games, I had her in Ignat looking like, and then every time, she's like, you know what? I'm not gonna marry Ignat.
What, really?
I don't get how that works.
I mean, so
like,
each...
I have, like, the rank.
So each unit has, like, different priorities. And some of them are kind of weird. Like, if you have multiple supports.
I figured she wouldn't get married unless Sedith got married. Which is precisely why I had Leonie all buddy with Sedith.
If she has an A support with Sedith, she will always prioritize that over everybody else.
Yeah, it's weird because like I had multiple A ranks and like I got Dorothea and Sylvain.
Yeah,
for, like,
you don't pick them yourself. The game decides which is the most canon and picks that for you.
Yeah, Well, so
Yeah.
it did that for 3 weeks, and then I had it again. I'm like, all right, great. I'm just gonna let this ride again. And then the
Yeah.
4th time, it doesn't happen. I'm like, oh,
Huh.
did they just not like each other this time? But yeah,
My Blue Lions playthrough just let me down so badly.
Blue Lions was a blast.
I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it, but then the end happened, and I swear the only people that got married were Dimitri and what a boy name now. I forget.
Marianne?
And Dedu.
No.
Swear, Dimitri and Dedu. I was like, why are they on the same?
Did they marry each other, or who did they?
Honestly, Dimitri never got picked a queen. He just stuck with Dedu.
Really? Huh.
Hold up, I was so hurt. I was so betrayed.
I think I had them by
Bromance forever, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely had Annette and God, what's her name? Long hair girl got her hair cut. It's not Marianne. It's the other one.
Mercedes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I had her and then I had Dorothy and Sylvain. I married Shamir.
See, but on my Deer playthrough, everyone got married. It was great.
Oh, yeah. Deer playthrough was a straight party. Everyone was together. Claude and Petra going with their continental romance, and I loved it.
Nah, see, I married Petra. I saw Claude was gonna marry Petra, and I was like, "That's my girl, Claude. Back off."
Yeah.
See, I went for the Dorothea snag on that.
Yeah. So I got Ingrid and Claude, and I was surprised because I felt like they had no natural chemistry, but apparently that is, according to the game, like a more preferred support than him and Hilda. So I don't know.
Well, considering Hilda just leaves him if you're not playing Golden Deer. I mean,
yeah, but I feel like they play off of each other really, really well.
Yeah. I had for real.
I had Hilda and Sedith as my favorite ending. That one was fun.
What? Sedith got married and decided to not live in a rock?
Well, they didn't say they got married. It's just they wrote children's stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they tried to...
Okay. Bro, children. Okay.
Yeah, because he liked to write stories for Flame because, Flame's adorable. And Hilda drew the picture.
Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay.
Yeah.
It was. After, he just throws shade at her all the time for being lazy for, the first 3 supports. And then, I think the best one is probably Cynthia and Felix. They have the best one. Yeah. She bakes him sweets and then he puts a sword away to eat cake with her all day.
That's cute.
Yeah. It's Felix coming full circle and being a sweetheart that we all knew he was.
Yeah.
Honestly, teddy bear.
A teddy bear that stabs people, but yes.
Yes.
I mean, that's the same thing with Dedu, Hubert, and Dimitri. They're all teddy bears.
I'm not so much sure about Hubert on that one, but
yeah, Hubert definitely a snake.
Yeah, he's a teddy bear.
Man-bear pig.
You'll see it's there. He's a nice guy.
I mean,
only if you like Edelgard.
Yeah, yeah.
After you swear fealty to Edelgard, I'm sure Hubert's wonderful. Before that, nah, fam.
Well, especially when you say flat out no to him.
Exactly. See?
Him and Shamir have an interesting conversation, too.
Yeah.
I feel like Shamir just has interesting conversations with everybody. Shamir is just interesting.
That's why she's my favorite character.
Yeah, she really is.
I've had her in every route, and she's been my MVP for at least 40% of every single route.
I mean, I guess crits are OP.
Yeah. Bow Knights won the world.
There it is.
Five
that's
spaces away. Crits every time.
Yeah. But back a bit to the church. How did you feel about the layup with the church identity and how it's presented in the different routes? Because I feel like it was pretty obvious there was something weird about all of them, pretty much from the get-go. But oh hey, they're actually dragons, and for once, dragons are not just objectively monstrous evil in a Fire Emblem game. Who would have thunk?
Yeah, it was definitely... I think Blue Lions didn't really kind of touch on it at all, and it kind of just like
Did not at all.
there might be something about it, but like they're on your side and you're fine. You're just gonna ride it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Golden Deer.
But now the deer.
I liked how Deer did it the most because like Claude was just like kind of like poking his nose in and figuring out what was there.
Yes.
He's like they're on my side right now. I'm just gonna keep it that way, but I'm just gonna find out what they got.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and especially
he's like you go ahead.
No, yeah, especially with the like how the church and the relation to the holy relics as well, because that I mean it's that feels kind of suspicious. And with the crest stones and how they're keeping all those crest stones in the goddess tower.
See, but now it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Like, because at the time I was like, they have all this power just laying around.
Yeah.
What is this? But now I know. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If I was Rhea, I wouldn't be handing that out either. Okay.
No.
Yeah, like it makes sense, and I'm like, I get the church. Like, there's really nothing about the church that they're doing that like, I'm really like, okay, you know what, you guys are bad. I mean, sure, the thing with Bayleth, like, a little gray area there.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty fucking. I feel like that's really immoral, but on the other hand, like I also understand why she did it.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of got consent to do it from the mom.
Yeah, that's also interesting. But I gotta say, an even better part is like later on where Sedef finds out about this and like actually starts questioning Rhea about this.
Yeah, I like that dynamic there too. But it was just kind of a shame that he's just like not now, and then like we never get to see it come back.
No.
Up again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, then the whole like Saint thing too.
Yeah.
It was just so sad I didn't pick up on that after how blatantly obvious it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you talk, like you go to the statues and it was like, oh, he is the father of this one.
Yeah, and he uses lances and flying.
Their birthdays are the same day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at first.
Which one's your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, at first I didn't quite catch up on it, but like when I played their paralogue and they obviously said, "Oh, wait, we're not brother and sister, we're actually father and daughter," I was like, "Oh, wait, that's totally them, huh? How the fuck can they still be alive?"
See,
exactly.
I didn't figure that out until like Golden Deer when they blatantly told me.
No, but I can see that because like in the other routes, you're not really. They don't really encourage you to question these things.
Yeah.
It's more like it's like either they're church, therefore evil, or like they're church, therefore good. Whereas the deer is more like they're on our side, but they're still kind of susp.
Yeah, the deer is like, let's find out everything.
Yeah.
They're like, the only twist is that she's the daughter, and she probably has an important mom. That you're like, it's just whatever that is.
Yeah. Yeah, but also like, leave mother's grave alone, and it's like this sacred site that no one is allowed to enter, where like the relic of the saints are like buried. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, mother's grave. Interesting. Okay. Sedith, care to explain?
Sedith starts talking about which one's your favorite saint, and then she chimes in for Saint Cecily, gets all excited.
Yeah.
Quite adorable.
Yeah, I mean her supports, like especially like the one with Ignatz as well, are hilarious.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I think Sylvain one is my favorite.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I haven't seen that one yet, so. Yeah, I mean I got her pretty recently on my Lions playthrough, so.
I can tell you about it, or I can let you just figure that one out.
Yeah, just tell me about it. This is a spoiler one anyway, so let's just go with it.
So, you know how Sylvain is a player and talks to girls and gets their emotions?
Yeah.
Flame just comes out and says, like, my father told me to stay away from you. Don't get any closer. Stay back.
Yes. And he's like, what? And she's, no, stop.
Oh, God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's truly delightful. It's like her with her sweet tone, but it's just like daggering lines she says at him. And like he's like, I just had to tell you we had a meeting. Walks away and he's like, professor will understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think the church is really cool overall, but one thing I don't quite understand is why the church like says like, 'cause the church still like perpetuate the story that, oh, the 10 elites were heroes who saved Fodlan from some unknown threat, and Nemesis was also a hero before he fell because he got greedy from power, when it seemed like the 10 elites and Nemesis, they were just like a bunch of. I mean, Nemesis was a bandit who was then given power by the Agarthans to kill a bunch of the goddess's children. So,
Honestly,
I thought the 10 elites were never considered heroes.
I mean,
no, they were.
I mean, because this like the reason that nobles have so much power is because they are descended from the 10 elites.
Right.
And the
Exactly,
church even
yeah.
says like, oh, we need to they're the heroes' relics with like when they're referring to the crest weapons. And
Yeah,
like
that's
no, the 10
oh,
elites were
man.
fucking villains. So why does the
Honestly.
church and they were
And the
killing
relics that they're using,
yeah, and they were
it's
killing
the very, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's the very bones and blood of,
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
that they. I,
yeah, and the
It's
church
weird
knows
too,
they're
'cause, like-
bad, but they still say that, oh no, they were heroes, just to I guess just to maintain the social order and not upset the nobles, maybe? I don't know.
That's a good point. But the church
it
has
is
been
weird,
church
too.
and Rhea
Yeah.
has been around since the very beginning.
Yeah, they know that. The church was
Exactly, I'm
founded
sure.
after the war.
I'm sure she helped like shape society so
Yeah.
nobles got the power.
Yeah, they
Why would she
changed
do
some of
that?
the history too, I think.
Yeah. No, because the thing is, like, I
But-
don't think that the history that the church tell is actually what happened. But why would they be lying? Because keeping letting the nobles keep crest weapon, letting the nobles who are the descendants of the people who murdered your entire race stay in power, I don't know why they would do that.
I have no idea.
It could have been something like where, since technically she kind of won at the end there. I think maybe in the peace
Yeah.
treaty, she's like, "Hey guys, we'll let you rule these territories and say you have power, but we're just gonna rewrite history here," kind of thing.
I mean, I think it could be something like that, or that maybe that like she, even if she defeated Nemesis, she wouldn't have enough power to like win another war against. Like, because
Yeah.
I mean, if the weapons get passed down to a next generation and they pick them up to fight to like finish what Nemesis started, maybe the church wouldn't be able to deal with that, and that's why they decided that like, I mean, we don't like this, but we need to maintain the current social order because we're not powerful enough to fight against it. And eventually it
Yeah.
just became so ingrained in society that they couldn't change it.
Yeah, I guess that can make
don't
sense too,
know.
and I guess they could be considered heroes in a sense because probably the situation they had before was a lot worse, and now they
Maybe.
at least have some leverage now and have their own territories.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if you put like the situation, like, let's say 10 years before this game started, and the church just decided, like, oh, we're gonna confiscate all of the crest weapons, I'm pretty sure the entire continent would put aside their differences and just fuck up the church.
I mean,
Okay,
you say that,
but at the
then, like,
same time, why did
We
they
have the
even
whole-
wait?
Yeah.
Like you beat Nemesis, you take down the 10 elites, you take the weapons one time, and then you let millennia pass, and
Yeah.
no one even knows there are weapons.
Yeah, I mean, because that, I feel like
Instead-
that would be the proper solution to make
Honestly.
sure that these powerful weapons of mass destruction that also is made by the bones of your friends and family doesn't get used for war. I don't know.
Honestly,
There's a
Like,
lot of
I-
questions I have with their
It
decisions.
is. It's a lot
Man.
of unanswered questions, especially around the time of the first like war. And I really
mean,
hope the DLC will go in to explore that.
Well,
But
even
then
the current
you-
war too had a lot of questions. Like if you look at Golden
Yeah.
Deer, it's like, why didn't they just join each other? Like, oh, they
Yeah.
sent one messenger and it died, and it's like, all right, well, why don't you just try another, or you talk after,
Yeah, I don't know.
honestly,
and then you finally do meet up in college. Like, I think I'm just gonna go home now. Sorry,
Ah, boy.
and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. There's a lot of questions with the war strategy of
Yeah.
Fodlan.
I'm also really sad, like in the Golden Era, like that you couldn't even try to like cooperate with Dimitri there. Like,
I mean,
honestly,
it makes
I mean-
it makes kind of sense. Once you
Kinda.
play
It does
Golden,
make
like,
sense.
once you play Blue Lions post skip a little bit, like you
it
get
does make
why
sense.
you get why it didn't
Yeah.
really work out, but
Yes,
Yeah, but
it
it's
does
like-
make
why
sense.
you could have paired up with like Tyreek and all those people
Yeah.
after the fact.
But it feels weird because like even during like at this before the Battle of Egan Lion Take 2, like just at the start of the map, or if it's before the cutscene before the map, he says like I'm here to kill Edelgard and anyone who stands in my way, and I'm like, okay, fine, I won't aggro your unit, I will keep out of your way, and then all of his units just rush towards me at the start of the map.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's what I
the
did
fuck?
for Blue Lions. I'm like, because we were talking, I was like, all right, Claude's not a bad guy. Claude's not a target. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna send everyone on the left side of the map
Yeah.
there, go after Edelgard, we'll be fine. And then then Claude comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to use some divine pulses here and go back a little bit.
Yeah, that.
No, see, I did the opposite. When I played the deer, I was like, okay, Dimitri, I'm gonna put 2 units right here to see what you do. And then he crashed my 2 units, and I was like, it's fine. They're flyers, they'll get away. It's fine. And then when I played the Blue Lions, I was like, all right, listen, Claude, I'm not going to fight you. And then he crashes on me, and I'm like, dude, Claude, what the heck?
Yeah,
We just had
exactly.
this discussion.
Yeah, the thing is with Claude too is like he has since he has the bow, he has increased range and he's flying, so
Yeah.
it's like he takes up the whole map.
Pretty
Honestly,
much,
well,
yes.
You have
Once
to
he
deal with
comes-
him at some point, because otherwise he
Once he comes, he's
he
coming.
controls it. Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I understand why you don't join forces with them, but I would have liked to see that, like, I mean, they're their own force, but they won't aggro you unless you fight them first. Because it doesn't
would've
feel like
made
they
more
would
sense.
have to attack each other when, like, both of them, like, oh yeah, we hate the Empire. Yeah.
They
Yep.
had some moments where it was like, hey, we'll kind of help you here.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just go attack this place over here, and then you guys can go over there. But it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get
I
why
don't
they didn't do it, but also kind of sad that they didn't. I thought like at least church route meant like we all come together. We're all best friends.
Oh
but
no.
it's like no, it's like you're just kind of on your own now.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Cause I mean, I feel like they could have made reasons like, oh, cause Dimitri, in order to get there, he had to go through Alliance territory. Maybe he just like actually hurt a bunch of militia or something on the way to like, oh yeah, he's actually a threat to the Alliance as well, and that's why we fight him. But like, they didn't even give us a proper reason.
Well, if you want a crappy reason, what about to do? He's just like,
Oh.
I'm just gonna go on my own.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like you didn't want to just like wait 2 seconds and come without marching army?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I did in fact manage to keep him alive after trying quite hard. On the on the map where you fight Edelgard for the final time in the deer route. But oh boy,
He
he
was-
really made me work
wait.
for that.
Does he pop in that map like later? Like if like round
I
2
mean,
or
yeah,
something,
he
does come
he
out?
pops in like later on the map. He just pops in the room right next, like in the room right
Yeah.
next to the boss room.
See,
And there is
I'm
like
Right
not gonna-
next to her.
there is
not gonna lie, I did that map in 1 turn.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about warp skipping it, and it's like, nah, let's actually do the entire thing. Because I thought, like, okay, as long as I just get someone to the end of the first room, dance, and then warp, I can kill the boss in 1 turn. I saw that from the beginning. I was like, nah, let's not on not on the first playthrough.
It was my second one, and I was
Okay.
like, since it was new game plus and all that, like I was kind of over
Ah,
leveled.
yeah.
I don't really want to kill more people,
No,
So
that makes sense.
so I just warped Claude, and since he had the pass ability, I'm like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go right through everyone, and then bam, pop.
Oh yeah,
There it
having
is, folks.
having pass as your personal build is so fucking good. God.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of pass, on maddening difficulty, all thieves have a pass, and for the first like 5 chapters, half of the enemies are thieves. So there's just pass everywhere.
Did they have pass in the previous games, or is that new? Because I felt like they've probably had it before.
Pass has
sure.
been a skill that
Assassins
assassins have
got
had.
Yeah.
Previously. Yeah. Yeah, I know in Awakening at least, like there was a bunch of late game assassins with pass.
Yeah, it was hella annoying.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still like one of the reasons why I still haven't gotten to the post time skip of Blue Lions is because maddening difficulty is actually, oh boy, I I mean, some parts are actually hard, some part just feels kind of bullshit, but it's still pretty fun overall. Yeah. Tangents. Anyways, more story. So yeah, because we've talked about the church, and on the opposite side, kind of the story spectrum, we have like Edelgard, because she hates the church. So yeah.
Yeah, I see. It's like I kind of get why she hates the church, but then I also don't get why she hates the church.
I mean, I think that a lot of the things that she's been taught, a lot of the things that have been passed down, like to her through her family, I feel like the Agarthan has been there and like kinda influenced them, like subtly during a really long time. So that like the truth she has been passed down from her ancestors about the true form of the Church of Ceres, like I feel like that message has changed over time.
Yeah, but the one thing that's kind of weird though is like she knows her uncle is like terrible and they're like even worse, and then like literally like Hubert's like, yeah, we call them those who slither into dark. Like I feel like that's a lot worse than like the nice church, the happy church that tries to look nice.
Yeah, and it was also those who were experimenting on her as a child, because that's like, oh yeah, she had to suffer because all of her siblings were killed in experiments, and she was the only survivor, and even she has been like suffering so much from this because of these like dark mages.
So like I would have gotten if it was like reverse kind of thing, and like she would have teamed up with the church to take them out, and then maybe after she's like, okay, church, I'm gonna deal with you guys in my post thing.
Yeah, I don't know, cause that's it just feels really weird.
Because I would have much rather have a dragon on my side trying to take out those who slither in the dark.
Amen. Yeah. Let's keep the dragon on my side.
Dragons are pretty cool.
Yeah, because like I almost had some casualties on that one there, and I haven't had any casualties on any other routes.
Yeah. But I think like the reason she acts the way she does is probably because like in her mind, the reason that she was experimented on, the reason why everything is so horrible for her is because like of society, a society led by nobles with crests, not necessarily because like, oh, there are evil people who do evil things.
Yeah. Which I guess does say Tyvek that's a church's fault there, which is also weird that the church is cool with that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, the church did their best.
I'm not sure, because I feel like in some things, like, oh, hey, society is fucked, like, we have nobles, like, I mean, just looking at Sylvain's, like, oh, like, his family doesn't care anything about their sons, only about crests. And
crest babies all the way.
Yeah, crest babies. I feel like a lot of this is, I mean, the church, even if they can't control the kingdom or the empire directly, they still have a lot of influence. So I feel like they could have probably have done something to like make sure that, oh, hey, everything isn't horrible. I don't know. Yeah. It's like maybe the church didn't create this society, but they're really fucking powerful and they're not doing anything to make it better. They're just kind of looking.
Okay.
I mean, there's only like a couple people out there that are really like, yeah, I love my crest.
Yeah.
And you can just hear his voice in the back of your ear right now with who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people just don't like it. Marianne is miserable because of it.
Yeah.
Poor Marianne.
Yeah, and
honestly, you gotta recruit her in every playthrough, or you're just evil.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, actually, it was the first thing I did on the on my Lion playthrough. It's like instantly get Marianne, save the precious child.
That's probably the saddest news there. That's just not there post skip.
Yeah. Yeah, cause that's the thing. Like in my like eel playthrough, like I never saw her anywhere. It's like, oh yeah, nice. I don't have to like fight and kill her, cause I killed Hilda and that was horrible. But then I realized like, oh wait, the reason why she's not fighting with the Alliance is probably because like she has just run away to get away from civilization, cause she is afraid of hurting people.
See, I just took it as she killed herself, or it was already a monster.
Yeah, I mean, she could also have killed herself. That also
Those are
feels
all-
reasonable, and it's
That's
horrible.
all terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, it wasn't a good
Marianne.
option. That's why I said recruiter.
Yeah, always recruit her. Yeah, Marianne.
I had like
Swear.
every single person on my Black Eagles playthrough to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll do that for the church rat, because church sounds pretty hard when you don't have access to your lord.
Well, that's also why I think you were able to recruit Hilda, and and I feel like since you were able to get her there, it's like, well, there's no reason for her not to join you on the Blue Lion, so you also have to get her there.
Yeah. Hilda.
Which is also why she's a freaking super unit.
Yeah, she is.
Love Hilda.
She's, yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, I find like she's so relatable as well. As like, I mean, like, she really cares about others, but she doesn't want other people to rely on her because she doesn't want to disappoint them. That's like, wow, mood.
Honestly.
My favorite was like, why would you die for me? It's like, I want to die for you. I like my life.
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she was easily. I didn't like her initially because I thought her design from like pre-skip, like, it looked a little awkward body figure, and like she sounded kind of annoying. But
I mean,
then like I played Deer, and I'm like, favorite unit.
Yeah, my first impression of her was also like, oh hey, this is like that annoying, like slightly bratty girl that only cares about herself, and then like character development, and I'm like, oh my god.
I saw her stats, and I'm like, and then she said noodly arms, like, clearly this is a joke. They knew what they're doing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the girls are just so strong in this game, and it's absurd.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I love it.
The Deer.
Yeah,
but I love it.
Leonie has been an absolute super unit for me on both my Deer and
she crits nonstop.
Yeah, and she's
She's
strong.
a monster.
Yeah, I picked Shamir over her, so I just tend to use her, not Leonie. But Golden Deer, I had both, so that was easy.
Yeah.
And then, who was it? Lysynthia is just absurdly strong.
Yeah. Dark Spike plus highest magic growth in the game.
Yeah.
She's a monster.
Plus an extra, like, 4 range on her attack when everything's all said and done.
Yeah, that's also a thing. Like, oh, yeah, that's like, oh yeah, Thyrus is like a staff that halves the damage you take sometimes, and you get extra magic range. It's like, wow.
Yeah. And then you always get the Death Knight being like, you're not the one I want. It's like, or get away from me. It's like, you're in for a surprise.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Amazing.
Then she crits and says you're irrelevant, and I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
What a plot twist.
Yeah, and also, yeah, and she's also like, she's just so tragic with like, oh yeah, she's only gonna live for like maybe 5 more years because she was experimented on as a child. And I mean, we don't know like at what time Edelgard was experimented on, but I like to think that they experimented on Lysithia and the other people in her village, just so that when they started doing it on the royal family, it wouldn't fail quite as often.
Yeah, that's why they did it. Like, they kind of said that in her support, that
Yeah.
she was experimented on after. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, so you're the one that got it figured out, so I would be alive.
Yeah, pretty much, which is like just horrible.
They pretty much hint at it, and that's why she always feels so guilt, because she knew, like, she was the one it worked on and how they figured it out.
Yeah. Which I was gonna say, like, their supports together are also really, really good.
Yeah. It's just kind of weird that, like, during the Black Eagles, like, a lot of them had reasons to be there, which was weird.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, Lysynthia joining made sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
I felt that way with a couple of them.
Yeah, I think I also recruited Ash because I had, like, I mean, because he was... Because of, like, Lonato, and he would feel resentment against the church for that.
Lonato.
Yeah.
He's always been a good, solid bench player for me.
I mean,
What?
he's
No.
not great. He's not that great as a unit, but...
He's like, for me, he was like Ignatz, but with more range, because
I
Ignatz
also-
never learns Deadeye.
I also didn't use Ignatz either.
I tried to, but the thing is, like, after experimenting around a bit, and I have used, even if I haven't completed all the routes, I have used all of the archers quite a bit, and it's like, Yeah, Archer as a class is great, but none of the units that you get
Yeah,
as
so-
Archers are very good. Like, the best Archer is
Except for
Shamir.
Claude.
Yeah, I mean, the best
Yeah.
Archer is Claude, the second best is Shamir, the third best Archer is Leone. The actual
Yeah.
Archers are kinda shit as units.
Yeah, so what I ended up
Except
doing
for
that
Ash.
worked out.
I
that
mean,
worked
he's
out
still
for me pretty
kinda
well.
shit, but...
Felix and Petra make them assassins with a bow.
Yeah, that too. Like, cause they're great.
Yeah.
It's like...
Because they
Petra's
have
good with the
insane-
bow.
Yeah, Petra has she has insane speed.
Yeah, she just
And then
doubles
with
everything.
With Assassin, it goes higher, so she was like a 40 speed, like super early.
Yeah,
Same
and
with
then
Felix, and then since they always crit,
Yeah, and then she can get even more crit from her personal skill as well, so you just always crit.
yeah, which is why those two as a bow knight there,
Yeah.
they had such a high crit rate, or they're crest activated if you're Felix all the time. Those who I ended up using.
Yeah.
See, it was very interesting using Ignatz in my Deer playthrough because I didn't know that Archers had this ridiculous range. I just knew that Ignatz is gonna hit everything because his personal skill is plus 20 hit, and then as a sniper, plus 20 hit. That's an automatic plus 40 hit. He's hitting everything. He just doesn't have the range.
The thing about that is, like, I guess maybe Mad and Lean obviously would change it, but like hard mode, I never really missed. So I never needed a plus 20.
Yeah, Maddening will definitely change that. Also,
Yeah, like that'll change it. But...
Yeah. Also, his plus 20 hit would be more useful if you could actually shoot, if he actually had Deadeye and could shoot 5 to 6 spaces. Because the fall off on accuracy is pretty hard, and he just doesn't need his hit bonus.
Yeah. I mean, Shamir always did it. All I needed to do was hit once and it would crit. If not, second time had it. And we're all good. Same with Petra. If Petra didn't crit in a turn, I got sad.
So true.
Yeah, it's all the non-crest users who were somehow stupidly good, which I didn't understand.
I guess it kind of made up for the fact they didn't have crests.
Yeah,
but
like
crests weren't even that great. They only activated sometimes.
Yeah, and the crests were always to blame.
Crest, I've never seen Dimitri's crest activated.
Oh, I've seen it
Really?
plenty of time. And
I've
sometimes it's bad because I need him to kill a unit without breaking his weapon, and then he activates his crest and breaks the weapon for me. And then he gets doubled by everything else.
Yeah, he
legit never seen it.
Yeah, he never activated that, but he would always crit for me, which was nice.
Oh.
Felix's crest always activated.
Yes.
I mean, Felix crest
Truth.
has... I mean, all crests have different activation rates. Felix is like,
His
I
is
think,
like-
25% or something, so
I
it's
thought-
really often.
I've heard 40.
It could be, yeah, it could be something like that.
It definitely feels like 80 though. That's always how I've taken it. Like if your crit rate's a 30, that's actually like a 60%.
Yeah,
I've
I mean...
always kind of just doubled whatever number it is.
See, on Maddening, where you really like need, I won't kill the thing unless I activate the crest. I won't kill this thing unless I crit. Then you will notice that, like, nah, it ain't happening all that often.
Yeah, I saw Madden, and it's like 97% hit twice, 50% back, 1% critical, misses twice, and gets crit and dies.
Yeah, my Dimitri got killed, but he got hit by like 30% attacks in a row or something. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at what the reward was for like the new title screen. I'm like, yeah, not worth my time.
I mean...
I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I mean, I just want to play Maddening because I like kind of high difficulties.
Yeah,
So...
well, I thought hard would be difficult, but it just ended up being easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that challenging.
Because
Yeah.
like now you can like, I think the issue was like you could see which units people were going to attack. So like if you move them to this space, this unit's going to attack you. So
I
there's
mean,
no,
that
like,
isn't
mystery
always
to it.
true, though, because sometimes when there are, like, multiple units, they can decide to change because, this unit got hurt by another unit, so now I'm gonna attack this one instead.
Yeah, like sometimes it changes, but like
Yeah.
pretty good on that. And then it was just overall pretty easy. Plus, everyone, once you run like a bow magic team like I do, you just
Yeah.
get everyone from five spaces
I mean,
away, and then no one could even hit you.
Yeah, exactly. If they never get a chance to hit you, then, like, easy.
Yeah, that was very player heavy phase.
Mm. And I mean, if, like, most of the time it works, because they don't... I feel like they don't throw all that many, like, high movement units at you, either.
Yeah, and the only thing is like Pegasus Knights. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yes, Pegasus.
Oh yeah, especially the like early game, the enemy only version of Pegasus Knight that is like the unpromoted, but they still have lance fair.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
those are pretty good, but like, and there's like not that many units too. Like maybe there'd be like 5 units, and I have like 10 people. I'm like, all right, 2 of
Yeah.
you are gonna crit and kill 2 of these on your own, and then I got 3 left for everyone else. So that's easy.
Yeah.
And like, I felt like I would need to use my relics too on like hard mode and stuff like that, but like I never use my relics until like the very last level just to
Oh,
use
really?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, relic.
Well, we have.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
The relics are kind of weird because sometimes I feel like they're super strong, especially because you can get some of them early on. But sometimes it just
Yeah.
isn't worth it. I feel. I don't know.
Like I felt like Claude's bow wasn't that great.
It's
I knew
3 range. That's about it.
Yeah, Marianne's wasn't that great. I think Catherine's sword was great for Felix. I gave it to him because I didn't use
I mean,
Catherine.
it's a brave weapon with like 20 crit, so yeah,
Well,
sure.
yeah, that's why. Because whatever you'd have the beast or whatever with the shields, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna break this, but he's gonna hit 4 times and just kill it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. And then normal mode is just stupidly easy. I never had anything above a javelin on Dimitri.
Yeah. I mean, I had a feeling that normal mode would be pretty easy, so I went instantly to hard mode.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's good that there is an easy mode as well for people who like that.
And then there's also the casual mode for the casual plebes.
I guess. I mean, then
But, I
again,
mean,
like,
I
is
get
it
why they
all
did
that
that.
much different when you have like the divine pulse and you can soft reset and all that as well? So
Yeah, that's why they did it though, because it was such a story-heavy thing, and they wanted you to get those interactions that like you're
yeah,
not going to be like worrying about everyone dying. But
yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
it wasn't.
I'll probably try to do an Iron Man run of the game after I've beaten all of the paths.
Yeah, like I didn't really use Divine Pulse that much either, and if I did, maybe it was just like I hit the wrong button because I was just going fast. Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
There's never like, oh man, I need to reset, rethink my whole formation and all that.
Mm.
I know people like lost units, but I'm like, how do you lose units in this game with all these tools and assets?
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of stuff to work with, so
Yeah, because I'm like, if I can't kill the enemy, I'll just go use my relic. If I can't use my relic, then I'm just gonna see if I crit. If
yeah.
not, just Divine Pulse and try something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what else there was for another relic. Some of the silver weapons, I use those a lot. Like well, not the silver like type weapons, but whatever, like the silver like background, like the inexhaustible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because
Yes.
that's whole thing, because they are not relic weapons, but rather, I mean, they're still like holy weapons related to the crests.
Yeah,
And I mean, if the relic weapons, I mean, I would say they were anything but holy. In the whole way they're created and all.
yeah,
But
which I don't get why
no.
like if you're doing that whole thing with all the relics and all that, and like you're giving out relics, why not just give your saints a relic or something there to
I mean,
kind of.
I feel like those, like the silver marked weapons, are like the church's answer to the relic weapons, because those are the weapons used by the saints and the other like
Yeah,
church people, back in the day, while like the 10 elites they were fighting against used the relic weapons forged by the Agarthans.
yeah. So I get why they did that, but I feel like they could have made them more powerful to be like what the saints at least are kind of overpowered or something like that.
I mean,
Makes sense there.
hey,
But
giving like the inexhaustible is pretty much like a brave bow with the stats of a silver bow. So
yeah, that's
Yeah, no complaints with the inexhaustible.
I gave that to Samir, and
yeah.
every mission was easy from then.
Yeah, but I mean, more on the Agarthans. Like, I think that's really cool, but there's just so much stuff they never explain. Like, why can they shift shapes? Like, why can they like just become different people? Like, how fucking long have they been living down there in their like little weird mole city? Why do they like dubstep? Like, there's so much unanswered.
Honestly, I was so surprised when that happened. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's my favorite part about the game, actually. It's like, oh, hey, there is this future sci-fi city here, and they're playing dubstep. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, it's just you just make it to Tron, and it's like
Yeah, pretty
I don't know
much.
if you got there ahead of me, but or it's either like Cam or someone who's like, yeah, there's a wild song later, and you're just gonna hear it and go, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's still I think that's probably my favorite. That or God Shattering Star are my favorite soundtracks from the game.
I was
Gosh, that
confused with
star.
the whole like the map like. It's like it's some of the problems I had with a couple of maps. Like there was so much going on in the maps, but like you just didn't need to do them. Like they had the extra huts in the two corners. I think like if you went there, it took the shocks or something away.
Yeah, I had no idea about
those
that.
like thunder stuff that shuts your unit
Yeah.
automatically, they would be disabled if you go in there.
Yeah.
And on
Like,
I think
I
on
never
the
did.
higher difficulties, they deal more damage as well. So
Yeah. Well,
So
like
you
on
like have to
Hardening,
do
like,
that. Okay.
well, Hardening, I did it, and like it would just hit Ferdinand, and Ferdinand took 0 damage because he was just a freaking unit.
oh, okay.
And it was like, all right, I'm just gonna send him here, swear all of these, and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then,
I mean that map also, like when you open the door and the boss decides to use a spell that hits everybody on the map.
Yeah. Oh, when I opened it, I just kind of killed him in one turn.
Yeah.
Because I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna open a door in the middle of the thing on my
No. I mean, I
last
think
turn.
a lot of people just open the door and then bomb rushed him, but it was I opened the door and then like cantoed backwards and set up a defensive formation, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna earthquake." It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Good thing I have fortify.
Rough
Yeah,
finesse
I'm
me.
not opening any blind doors in the middle of the map there.
Nah, I don't know.
Without any strat.
FE7 has
And
taught
then-
me to never open doors without having like many units ready to kill anything in the room.
Yeah, it's and like I forget whoever the girl Cordelia, like her map was like so massive and like had like just so much going on. It's like, why do I need to go on these top left and top right corners for like just one beast here? It's like, do I just want to kill him for principle or just go up the center path to where the boss is?
Yeah, I guess.
So that's like if it was a route level, I would get that, but like there's some levels like that was so big and had a lot going on. It's just like I don't need to do it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of the maps are fairly large, but I like having large maps overall.
Yeah, I mean, I love the
yeah.
large maps when the routes and all that, like big maps, and like I like how you had to divide your squads up into like 2 or 3. So it's like you just don't have one unit do it all, so everyone kind of got to stay on the same kind of level. Granted, some did pull away, obviously, but like
Yeah.
that happens. But like yeah, big maps were good. Like I think it was whatever the fortress in the Adestrian. Man, I forget the names of these places.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Whenever you had DK and Hubert. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Map, like long map, I liked it.
That was a
Had
fun
purpose.
one. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The short maps are always just kind of iffy because warp and done.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to see like if you like on a replay how much you actually can skip, because I haven't tried. I have tried playing most maps like slowly, but I think this game has like potential for a lot of interesting like low turn count strategies or whatever.
Well, yeah. Well, because one thing I learned about there was like on my 3rd playthrough or something like that. Like one of the battalions has the stride ability.
Yeah, stride is OP.
So what you can do is you can stride everyone, then you can warp someone, and then you can warp them again, and then just like take 4. You can take 4 warping units out there, get them all strided. Then you just like kind of just chain warp everyone, and then you're basically about 40 spaces at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, but about like the Agarthans, I mean I think they were really interesting. I just wish that you had maybe seen more of them, because I feel like during the second part, even in like the routes that do address them, they felt kind of forgotten. And like during the second part, the only one that like is really important from there is Thalas, because you killed like the 2 most standout members in the first half, and then you kind of just forget about them.
Yeah. I don't really get those units. And then like it was kind of like weird in the Black Eagles too. It's just like, oh yeah, Cordelia was our friend. Why'd you do that? And he's like, because I wanted to.
Well, that's rude. Die.
Yeah, and it's like, and then he's like, well, it got me there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot of potential there, and like I think Death Knight, like his role confused the hell out of me.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, but did he just want to watch the world burn? Was that like his thing?
Because he was like, he's like, I'm with them, I'm with you, I'm with them, and then like Black Eagles is like, you guys just won't see me for a while. It's
Yeah,
fine.
because we barely saw him at all during that, and that's like, oh, he's my ally. Maybe I will actually get to know something about him. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. And then Blue Lions,
Oh.
Mercedes, that's my little brother. I'm like, what? It's your what, Mercedes?
Yeah.
It's like we were here for like a whole like 3 months, and you didn't want to say anything, and then it's like,
Honestly, this
Yeah.
man was a teacher at the school. You had no
Yeah, like-
idea. You just saw his mask and was like,
It's so fucking
Huh.
weird.
yeah, once you put the mask on, it was like, oh, now I know who you are. But when he's just sitting there in the corner saying Mercedes, Mercedes,
honestly.
no bells are being rung.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was an interesting unit.
Yeah, I mean, so I've heard that he's apparently gonna be added as DLC eventually as well, so...
Yeah,
maybe-
that's the one I was hinting
Okay.
at there.
Mm.
But only if we add the gatekeeper.
But the issue is too that
Oh boy.
the issue I have too is they're saying he's gonna only be added onto certain routes.
Mm. Yeah.
So it's like, how many times
Like Blue
are they gonna
Lions,
make
where it makes sense to recruit him. Okay.
I mean,
I'm down with that.
Or the Eagles, where like he's not visible
gonna be
at
Eagles,
all,
yeah.
because he's supposed to be allied with. I mean, he's like directly under the command of the Flame Emperor, and we just don't see him for the entire post time skip. So.
I mean, technically he comes in like because if you talk to Manuela again, he's like,
Oh.
"Oh, I found him," and I was about to yell at him, but then he said, "I'm sorry." So it's like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah, that was like a little bit before we woke up or something that happened.
Yeah. He's like, he just apologized to me. He's like, I wanted to be mad at him, but he seemed nice.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Excuse-
Yes,
Okay.
so this guy who's just been watching the whole world burn and like, oh, I like fighting and killing people. He's actually kind of nice, huh?
I wanted to reply back like, he's not gonna marry you.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's the issue I have to. They give you the online statistics, but there's 2 Black Eagle routes, and it's like, wow, Black Eagles are on top again. How's this happening?
Yeah. But like then again,
Honestly.
Edelgard is only in one of them, and she's always at the top of the fucking statistics anyway. So.
Because everyone played Black Eagles.
Yeah, everybody. Waifu baiting. Waifu baiting
I don't know
100.
See, I don't get that. You think it would have gotten me, but then I went Blue Lions. So
Yeah.
Don't know how I adapted that one. I think it was probably because someone told me I could just recruit Dorothea, and I'm like, okay, I'll do that.
So
Yeah.
true.
Honestly, that was my whole first playthrough right there. Was just singing and bringing her out for lunch and all that. I got her.
Yeah.
I got Petra somehow by surprise. Don't know how I did that, but it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, I mean, like the recruiting is pretty cool, especially like because the recruiting mechanics are kind of weird, I think, but like overall it's pretty cool.
Like what I find is weird is like once you have everyone, and it's like you're going to the last person and be like, hey, look, everyone else is in my class. Your best friend is in my class. How about you just hop over here? And then Mercedes is like, I'm having so much fun in my class. I'm like, yeah, you, Dedu, and Dimitri, you're having a good time. And then Claude's literally alone.
Yeah, that's sad.
It's-
But
yeah, it messed up a lot of the playthrough, but it also helped a lot of the playthroughs there with being able to recruit other houses because like they made that a more focal point of getting those new supports in there. So I think
yeah.
that's what kept us from getting like Randolph and all those people.
But maybe you'd like to try and like finish this out. We can go over like the endings of the game and a bit more like what we thought about those.
All right. Here we go.
You guys want to start it off?
I'm
I
so
think it's
glad
better-
Dimitri became an actual person.
Oh,
Because up until that point, he was just so angry
yeah.
with himself, with the world, with the dead people, with the alive people. I'm so glad, Dimitri. I got to see Dimitri smile again.
All right.
I like that, but then it was just like I thought he was dead for a little bit. Edelgard just threw a dagger, and you're like,
Oh.
Yes, I was like, oh no.
I'm like, are you really
No.
doing this right now?
Now,
that
not with
would've
the
been
dagger
pretty
he
cool.
gave you. You traitorous woman. I was
And
so
then
mad.
he just wore a like a dagger to the heart, basically, and like, oh yeah, I forgot it's him. He's strong.
What a man.
Wow.
Just gonna wear
And then
that.
Claude with that You thought you had me?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, like the final battle, the cutscene battle with Nemesis there. I don't
So
know, it
well
was
done.
so really cool.
Yeah,
And
really
then
enjoyed that.
pretty much like I also like how Claude's like postscript epilogue is pretty much like, oh yeah, he went back to Elmira because he's actually like the king of Elmira, or like now he becomes the king of Elmira, and then he and his best friend Byleth decides to end racism. It's like, yeah, I can get
Yes!
behind that.
Let's go! No more racism.
Was that
Woo!
the paired ending you had? The two of them?
No, I mean, because it's like, I mean, after the paradigm, it's like you have the whole like tapestry coming up. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Claude goes back to become
Oh,
King
yeah.
of Elmira, his best friend with the King of Fodlan, and together they decide to break down the boundaries between their nations, kinda.
Right.
No more racism.
Yeah,
Fear the deer.
fear the deer.
I love that movement so much. But then, yeah, Black Eagles. That one is super disappointing.
Yeah, I'm so sad because like, I mean, since that is the only route where like the Empire actually wins, I felt like they could have done so much cool stuff with it, and instead it's like, oh yeah, the world is still kind of shit, but at least the church is gone. It's like, well, yeah, that didn't really accomplish anything, did it?
Yeah, it was like the same ending, but it's like, yeah, the church is gone. He doesn't have the power. He doesn't hear from this. Those who still live in the darker around, but they're dealing with it now, and it's gonna be okay. That's another war.
Yeah, eventually it's gonna be okay. Hubert is dealing with it. He's killing fools.
Yeah, I had the paired ending with Edelgard and Bailiff, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So after they finished dealing with those who still live in the dark, I'm like, wait, did we?
No, they didn't. They didn't.
And then
Wow.
I forget how the church route ended. Pretty much the same as like I think the deer.
Three Houses Part 2. It's coming.
Yeah, I mean,
It's got to.
I mean, I assume that the church route would end with like, oh, like you restore peace to the world. Because I mean, do you get to become like King of Poland? Do you unify the entire country during that as well, or?
I think so.
So then you unify the entire country under the banner of the church rather than the free kingdom, whatever.
But don't you save Rhea? But isn't she
Yeah.
the...
Well, no.
Did
Not
she
really.
die?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh,
Huh.
poor girl.
Yeah. There's apparently like what I've heard too is like if you S rank her, she like in like some routes she doesn't die.
I mean, because in the Golden Deer route, it's like, oh, she sacrificed herself to protect us when Shambhala is being self-destroyed. And then it's like implied that she doesn't die from that, but she just gets like severely wounded is what they say after that, but we never see her again, so she probably like dies a bit after.
I mean, Blue Lions is just like, oh yeah, she doesn't really exist, and then you find the epilogue. It's like, she was found. She's okay.
Okay, that's kind of
Yeah.
sudden.
Yeah, like I saw her in the Golden Deer route. I'm like, wait, she exists?
It's like, Rhea, we saved you. We did it.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause she was being kept prison by them in some sort of prison by the Empire.
Meanwhile, Blue Lions goes in there. And it's like, all right, killed Edelgard. Time to leave. Rhea, who?
What the fuck? That's so irresponsible, but I also feel like that's very Blue Lions.
Absolutely. Listen,
At no part.
I got to get back to
Dimitri-
my kingdom.
Yeah, at no part did he indicate he was going to get Rhea.
Oh my god. Which
He's
is
got other worries.
Well, that's interesting because like during the Empire route, it seems like the church and the kingdom becomes pretty close, and like with the whole
Honestly,
with the whole history thing that like, oh, it's a holy kingdom of Fargus, like
Exactly.
created under the blessing of the church. I feel like they would have like a closer relation with the church than the other kingdoms as well.
I mean, I'm sure Sedith and stuff. You know, they went out after and found her, and it was all great.
Yeah.
But you know,
I mean, probably.
they still unified the church, and all that was good. But there was no her coming out without the headpiece on, and like, wow, elf ears, she looks amazing. But that was just me.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, elf ears are the way to go.
I concur.
Catz
Where's
just
the lie?
Sitting
Yeah.
there in the background judging us right now.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, cats kind of have elf ears too, if you think about it.
I don't know about that one.
Look at your
like-
picture right now, and this looks like it.
I feel like elves have cat ears, but we can talk about that one later.
We can deal with it.
I mean,
Well-
if you want to go that way, sure.
It's where we went.
Mm.
But yeah, Blue Lions was like kind of disappointed in that regard too, since Rhea's kind of dropped from the story. But like,
Yeah, I mean,
Honestly,
like she's really
Holy
fucking
Kingdom of
important.
Fargus.
So
Holy Kingdom of
Yeah.
Fargus just becomes, yo, look, Dimitri's home.
yeah.
I mean, it also makes sense that it does. But
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just what happened to the whole Holy Kingdom thing.
yes, you saw Cetus might try doing something. But
Yeah, and that also, cause like Seraph still joins you, right? Wouldn't he like raise any objections to you just ditching Rhea? Like, come on.
yeah, I mean, technically everyone joins you from that there too. So I don't get why like it's not more folk. Like I said, it just knows is like, yeah, I'm not going to try to handle this guy right now. I'm just going to let it go.
I guess.
I'm gonna let the steady man Hubert handle this.
Mm.
Hubert,
Hubert's the worst unit in that game. Have fun with him.
man.
You thought Cyril was bad, but no.
Alright. Alright, so any final thoughts? Any more thing like support, story beats, weird characters?
Weird characters.
Oh, so you know how? Okay.
Yeah?
If you manage to not recruit a character, and then you come upon them in a battle,
Yeah?
and you defeat them in the battle, you can recruit some of them right there.
Really?
The only person I did that successfully with, and I hate myself for it, was Lorenz.
Because I know...
Because I don't even like Lorenz.
No, because I know that like some units, if you fight them with the with Byleth, instead of killing them, you just force them to retreat. While if any other unit fights them, you kill them. I know it's like that
Yeah,
for some of them, but
So I think it's like you have to have the B rank requirement or whatever. But
maybe.
how it was for me, so like I recruited Ash, so Ash was with me, but then post skip he was gone.
Wait, what?
Post skip,
then-
he was gone?
Yeah, he wasn't with me anymore because he went with Lord, whoever the guy is in the Golden Deer route.
Oh.
Whoever whoever that knight is that you typically fight him on. So he was with him, and then once you
Oh.
fight him, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll come back."
Huh.
So that happens.
That's interesting.
Like you can look.
Yeah.
You can look at who's in your thing post skip. Not
'Cause
everyone
I-
comes back.
I tried to recruit Lorenz and failed.
Yeah.
And then post
Like,
time skip, I found him on the battlefield, and I was
Yeah, I think that would happen in Blue Lions. I think if you have Lawrence,
I guess.
he may not be there post skip, and then you get him back.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
That's how it was in a.
no, I
Church
didn't have
route
him.
was the
I
same.
didn't have him. I remembered. I was like, well, dang, Lawrence, you stay by
Yeah, because
yourself.
I
then,
think
fine.
for me, the only units, I mean, I didn't recruit all that many during my Golden Deer route, but I mean, even they don't appear in the first map where like the units join you one by one, but then as soon as you get access to the monastery again, the units that you recruited previously, they just kind of show up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's typically the case. But like, yeah, even the church route too. So I had Lawrence, then he wasn't there, then I got him back, and now
Huh.
I'm like, wait, you're like 20 levels under leveled now, so
I mean-
enjoy my bench.
I guess it kinda makes sense that he wouldn't be able to join you since he is like at home dealing with his business and also trying to get the Empire to not invade him, so... Like,
I thought
he's
he
a
was
busy
leaving us
man.
in the deer. Like,
Forget
I thought he was
Lawrence
leaving
anyway.
the deer, but I don't know why he didn't.
Mm.
I liked him as a unit, but that's just me.
All right.
Well,
I
as
only
not a
liked
unit,
him
a
as
character.
as a character you did? Okay.
I did. Granted,
I
I
grew
also,
to respect him, but I never liked him.
I also love his voice actor, so that
Okay.
helps. Plus, his voice actor was kind of doing his Joseph Joestar kind of voice,
I knew it.
so like that kind of helped.
Yeah.
And his support with Bailiff was fantastic.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys have all seen that.
I did.
It's pretty stupid.
Which is why it's great. It's interesting too that he's also the same voice as Caspar, and they're like completely different characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hats off to Diskin there.
Yeah, I guess. All
All
right.
right. Anything else?
No.
Fear the deer.
Yeah, Fear the Deer.
Fear the deer.
I think we're fine with this. Clocking it in like a solid bit over an hour. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Final
Good
words
math.
before we finish off the stream.
Oh man.
Oh,
I would have used
What?
Fear the deer.
you did already use Fear the deer.
Yeah. You gotta say something else, quick.
Petra's Bay.
All right.
Hear my roar. # Blue Lions.
Wait, what do you just say?
Hear my roar.
Okay, good. Yeah. We'll just end on that.